I have too many Warhammer figurines. This is what essentially is like a small amount of what I have. I have combat patrols. I got the Dawn of War onslaught. I have another combat patrol right here for my Dark Angels army. We have got to get through this. So, what we're gonna do is start somewhere. I've gotten a few models that I'm very happy with, a few individual things that I'm quite pleased with my painting on these, and my painting's gone from, okay, passable, whatever, to a lot better. Not saying I'm like on a huge upswing to where I'm like some kind of miniature master. Shout out to Squidmar. Nowhere near that. But I feel like I'm doing a lot better. And in doing so, practice makes consistency, and I don't want to say perfect because nothing's ever perfect. But just keeping consistent with it is making me so much better. So I figured, why not work on some of my figures? Kind of punny, witty there. I already got some primed and ready to go, and we'll break it down. We'll get into that right now. So here I got my models all primed up, ready to go. I really like the color and the way that primer went on. At first, I should preface that. At first, I really liked it. Afterwards, we'll kind of get into that a little bit closer to the end, but some of the things, it was a little easy to work with, but then some of it I'm just not happy with. And it's by the Army Painter, part of their effects line. It was okay. I watered it, or I did thin it down quite a bit, and at first I thought, I really liked the way it looked, but closer to the end, not really. And then we're going to use Ancient Stone to get all the skin and everything on these guys. So I've gained a whole new respect for miniature painters that do this kind of stuff on YouTube. This is insanely hard to get like good angles when you don't have the right equipment, for sure. And then kind of putting yourself out there for other people to see. As you can tell, we're putting on the Ancient Stone, and I've missed a few spots, but then again, I'm not trying to be super like clean with this. I'm just trying to get the application. I have this paint thinned down fairly good, so that I can go over it again with another coat. That's not going to be as thick. But yeah, this was not only an endurance for me to try to see how quickly I could paint these guys, but it's also a challenge because I don't have like a great setup like everybody else does. So hopefully we can rectify that at some point soon. The lighting was kind of crazy, everything was kind of crazy, but I really did enjoy this. And that paint application, the Ancient Stone went on pretty well. So I was having some issues with the brushes I was using. Really important that you take care of your brushes. Let me tell you, I had gotten these like last month and they were really good, but I forgot one time to clean them. And all of a sudden, everything I've used, or every time I've painted with them, it's been an absolute fight. This is one of the Army Painter's character brushes. I'm going to try to save it with some IPA. Is it IPA? I forget. I'm going to try to save it, getting the paint out of the ferrule, because I know I got some in there. But this thing was just fighting me the entire time. I did end up switching to the Army Painter's Regiment brush. The reason I'm using the Army Painter's brushes, they're easy to get in my area, unless I want to go and get Citadel ones, which I don't really like or care for. It's either Army Painter or Citadel where I'm at, where I could get some cheap synthetics off of like Amazon or at the hardware store, hobby store. I am going to end up getting some sable brushes here at some point soon. I think my skill level has gotten to the point where I'm gonna need them, so I don't fight and go crazy trying to make sure that my tips stay nice while I'm painting. Right here I switched. Even this one is a little funky, and it's just because I did not clean them properly. One time is all it's gonna take. Really is one time. But yeah, the application went on pretty smooth after this. You can see that quite a bit. Like I had it pretty thin, so that we do have to go over with a different coat or a second coat, which is exactly what I wanted. I really wanted to not be able to see any brush strokes while I was putting on this paint. And the Army Painter, as far as like their Ancient Stone, it was pretty good. I liked it much better than Wraithbone, but even then, like, there's just something about like the neutral whites and stuff that just, they never seem to do it. I've heard really good things about Monument paints like titanium white. That wouldn't have been a great application for this particular model, but still, trying to find like the perfect consistency for these paints and how they go on, it's kind of a thing. As most newbies know, it's kind of hard to figure out exactly where you want stuff to be at. I am also using a wet palette. I didn't like it at first, but I've grown to really like it now. So as you can see, the coverage for that particular Ancient Stone it did okay. You could still see the gray coming through that, but obviously we're going to go back with another thin coat. I do really like to do multiple thin coats for my models, just to make sure we're not going to have brush strokes in it. You're not going to see any texture, even though fighting this brush was still a thing. And you know, amazingly enough, my shoulders were killing me at the end of this. Like pretty much every day, I was sitting there thinking, why do my shoulders hurt so bad? I'm sitting at a bar where the bar is higher than the stool I'm sitting in, and just having to hunch over to try to get a really good angle with the camera, because I have it set up on a tripod right now. It was a fight. As soon as I can get some more lights, we're gonna move to a desk, but up until that point, then I'm gonna have to deal with some shoulder pain, and it's all right. I'm not worried about it too much. This was also another thing that was annoying, was trying to keep this little model in frame. I'm gonna have to figure out a better way to kind of make all that work. And now I got them all painted up as far as their skin. We're going to be moving on to give them a little bit of color on that skin using some contrast paints. We're going to take some contrast medium, and then we're also going to use Magos purple contrast. I believe I did it 4 parts to 2 parts. Yeah, 4 parts to 2 in there, and I use a little mixer just to try to make it a little easier for me to control everything. I didn't want to put this particular paint in the wet palette because, like I said, I normally use one. If you would like to see what I normally use on any given paint, maybe we can do a video on that. I got a little spoon stirrer thing. Came with this cup. I don't remember where I got it from, probably from Amazon. I really like it, and I did go a little extra actually in this contrast paint, but I really like the little paint scoops and stirrers and stuff. It helps me stay a little cleaner, and then I don't have to put weird like paints that I don't know how they're going to react on a wet palette or anywhere else, and I can kind of keep them separated. I did cut out the audio because this drove me crazy. Usually I paint with some headphones in while listening to either a podcast, book, something Warhammer related. And I didn't realize until I was editing this what that sound between like the stirrer and that cup was. Oh, that was awful. That was so awful. So I'm glad that we got it done. I'm going to use a Citadel color shade brush here to go over. Just use this one to go all over because I don't want to use any of my good ones for this particular thing. And I guess the shade brushes aren't bad. I'm not a fan of their of Citadel's normal brushes. Have not found a great use for them. Usually they don't last very long, so just meh. But these ones work pretty well. As you can see, we're fighting with getting everything in frame. So that's usually the battle. I still have not found out the best way to do contrast paints. Always some pooling, always something. I think one of these times we might have to do some tests on some contrast paints just to see, if I can get any better with that application. This mat I got from, I believe, Hobby Lobby. It is specifically made for like fixing electronics. I liked it because it was like rubber, but then I also use that little grid section as kind of a dry brush palette, so I can kind of scrape off, or not scrape off, but get all the extra stuff off my paintbrush before I go in dry brushing. It's actually really handy. There's even like little spots on there you can put pieces of model if you're assembling on the mat. You can see all my spray from when I use my airbrush on it. This is what I use normally. Yeah, this application on this, I'm using just white, Army Painter's white here through a dry brush just to try to get tone down some of that extra contrast on this model. Try to bring that down and then brighten it up a little bit, get highlight on it. It worked out pretty well. I was actually pretty happy with this. I don't do a whole lot of dry brushing, and I probably should do more. Like, there's a lot of techniques that I kind of use sparingly here and there, and I really would like to kind of up my game on some of them. And I'm not being clean at all with this, because we're going to go back over it again. So this was an on-the-fly decision. I was going to use Magos purple to go into all the little eyes. I got a few of them done like this. I was not crazy about the way they were coming out. So yeah, I felt kind of like, I'm not really down with that color. So we did end up changing that, and I was trying to figure out if I wanted to maybe use that to accentuate some of the curves on his arms, like the muscle definition there, but it just wasn't looking the way I wanted it to look. So I stopped that, and we changed it up here. No, you weren't just hearing things. That was my dog, Hooch. He was being an itchy boy. And usually when he itches and scratches, he sounds like a demon for whatever reason. I thought it was funny, so I left it in. He's something else. So really like the way that purple and that gray kind of blended. It actually really gave it some really nice definition on that carapace. But once it dried, it looked really splotchy and not great. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe if I do like a contrast paint next time over a carapace like that, how that would look and how that would work. I've never had great success with a contrast paint. I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong, or what the deal is, but yeah, there's something that just doesn't end up working out well for me. But once we get this layer on and the second layer, these look fantastic. So during this process, I did notice that some of the details were clogged on some of the, like the rippers specifically. However, some of these other guys did have some areas where we just weren't getting some definition. That didn't record any footage of me being like very annoyed with it, but it happened. And I felt like, hey, you know what? Let's just keep it moving. I didn't want to have to stop or worry about it too much. Sorry about some of the focusing in and out. The camera does not like this angle. I'm gonna try to fix that. But yeah, this was one of the processes that I enjoyed the most, to be honest. Like that, putting that purple right on that model. Oh, it was so good. That's what really made me excited to finish this. So I've been painting an amazing amount of Space Marines. So it's been a while since I've done any kind of like Tyranids. Most of the models I've worked with lately have been bigger. So trying to figure out exactly how to hit all these little spots, it was a challenge, but it was pretty fun. If you're new to Warhammer and you somehow came across this video, like, I can tell you that this hobby, even if you don't actually play like tabletop 40k, like model painting has, like, I don't know, it's done something to me where like it's a way for me to relax, just, you know, take my mind off of the world, essentially. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but also I have ADHD, so it's hard for me to focus on things for quite a while, and this actually helps me focus, and then it gives me a visual reference point to how I'm finishing these models, so I want to continue doing it. I know it's kind of hard to explain. If you don't have ADHD, then you don't really know what I'm talking about, because your mind can go from one thing to the other really quickly, and you don't even know how you got there in some instances. But being able to put like my headphones on, listen to something, and really just deeply focus on this is like, it's a stellar way to not only see completion of a product, or not a product, but a project, but also like really take the anxiety down, because a lot of us that have ADHD also deal with an amazing amount of anxiety. So at least in my experience, that's how it's been for me. The anxiety is always through the roof. So, but I've found this really helps. Alright, so this is day 3 of this whole... I don't even know. Is this a challenge? Is this an experiment? Is this a... I don't know. I haven't decided yet on what this actually is. I can tell you, these guys are coming out pretty nice. We got quite a few of them. So all in all, hold on. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, technically 11 total figures that we're working on. So essentially, we're just trying to get one of the Combat Patrol magazines done, which would be part of the Termagants or whatever. Yeah, they're coming out really, really nice. I'm very happy with what's going on here. I have put maybe like 8 to 10 hours total in these guys so far. I can tell you, I definitely have more to do. I have chosen the technical Armageddon dust to be put around their bases for the rest of my Tyranids, because I do have a shitload more. We're gonna probably end up using this for those. So anyway, this is kind of like a day 3 update, as it were. I know how I could speed things up. One would be not use brush on primer. I already have figured out ways to make this go quicker, and I'm confident in my skill level to do such a thing. Maybe next time we do Tyranids. I don't know what else we will be working on at some point. You guys will be able to vote on the next project I do. Anyway, you guys will be able to vote between three different kits for me to work on. That's kind of where the drive is coming for me to push forward. You can hear my dog drinking. Sorry. I need a shotgun mic. Probably gonna get one here soon. If you enjoy this kind of content and you want behind the scenes kind of stuff, I've started doing that just for my YouTube members. They can go, I'll put like either a daily, I'm trying to do like a daily update as this is happening, as I'm continually like finishing steps, getting stuff set up. So yes, there will be like updates daily as the project's going on, depending on the size of the model or whatever it is we're working on. Say I'm working on a vehicle or something, I'll put, you know, some stuff on there. I was pretty tired the other day, so that video was kind of crazy. I'm probably gonna put another crazy one up, just me rambling like I usually do. But yeah, let's keep going. There's nothing more to do but paint. So yeah, there's the guy. There's one of them. I got them all set up. So next challenge, we're not gonna go this ham. Like, unless I have to have a model kit that is like this, where it's like 10 little units, we're gonna switch it up. So what these guys need is we need to go back over this. I like the gray that's underneath it because of this brush on primer. The gray underneath the Carapace is like, it's shining through, and I like the way it looks. However, in the spots where I missed some of the painting, or the spots where it's like you can kind of really tell it's uneven, I don't like that part of it. So what we're gonna do is probably just make it the really deep purple that these guys are known to be for Hive Fleet Leviathan. We're all... You'll have to excuse my editing on some of this. It's been a while since I've used DaVinci Resolve. Anyway, here we are. We're going back through second coat of the purple. And once this is done, I'm very, very excited about it. I never really show how excited I am, but inside, I am glowing. I don't know, just having these guys all in one go, like, get done, was insane. And this was just like a whim thing where I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll do this and see how it goes. Because I know that, you know, some of my viewers have been wanting me to do some painting content, but I've never felt like I was good enough. I still don't, to be honest. But yeah, we're gonna keep going with it because it is a fun time. Even if you're not good, I want you to know that you will get better. 1, 2, you will have fun painting. You don't have to show anybody your paint jobs, but I would highly recommend it just so you can get more, I guess, knowledge on how to get better. Also, Vince Venturella, I can't remember how to say his last name. He is so good. He is excellent, and he's got his hobby cheating series. I started on the very first one, his very first one that he did like 10 years ago. And I've just been watching those, listening to it, and putting to practice some of those tips and tricks. Excellent series. All right, update. They are all done with the purple. So we're gonna do some shading, and then obviously we've got some spots to clean up where I hit the purple in spots I didn't want. But next is we're gonna get the claws and the hooves. It's a fun word, hooves, all painted up. Then we'll go back and go do our fixing and add some red and some other parts on there just to make this a little bit more nasty looking. All right, so as I was painting, I got kind of lost in it. I ended up finishing off the hooves and the claws. I did them in black. I know that some people like it in red. That's kind of more, I guess, the actual color scheme. But I think these look so much better in black, and then I'm gonna put some red around kind of where they protrude from. And we still have some more work to do. I got some cleanup to do. I was messy in spots, so we were gonna have to go back through, and then we're gonna do the red on the tongue and the mouth, and then some deep red right around here with the yellow and the eyes yellow. And then basing, and we should be almost there. So we'll see if I can get this done in a timely fashion. It's been harder than I thought it was gonna be, to be honest. I already just come home after work, hang out with the family, eat a little bit, and then go right into painting. So, but I think this, because I stop and record, and this particular one, how I'm doing things with the primer. Like I said before, I can cut this way down. This whole process, I can cut it down. I wanted to be a little bit more, I guess, closer to where a newbie would start, because technically I'm still new at this particular thing. And trying to gain some more, I guess, confidence first, second, more skills, like up the game, up the skills a little bit, so that it's a little easier, quicker every single time. Obviously we have a lot more models to go through, so yeah, this would be a great time to like and subscribe and share and all that fun stuff with somebody if you think somebody else would like this content. Anyway, that is it for day 3. This is day 4. I have probably 12 hours into all of these guys. I think I got 11 of them we're trying to get through. So I'm going to use some Vulpes Pink and kind of go into little holes and vents and weird little ribbed areas with that around the gun. I'm gonna hit all the little details with that. Mouth, we're gonna try to make this thing look gross. All right, not that it's not already there. Then we're gonna take some red and go around the hooves and the claws, and I think we're almost ready for basing, which I've kind of settled on Agrelian Earth. It's a technical paint. I got this, I can't remember how or where I got this, but I have this and I'm gonna use it for all my Tyranids. I think that's what we're gonna do, because it's a huge bottle. It probably won't last me all of them because I got a bunch, but we're gonna use this. Yeah, let's just keep going. All right, so went through, cleaned them all up, and then I threw on that technical color at the bottom. I'm gonna let it dry overnight, probably have to hit it again, maybe dry brush some stuff, but these guys are mostly done now. Quite an achievement. I think I've only ever gotten like a few done at a time. This was 10. Now they're not like gonna win any sort of awards, but I'm very, very thrilled with how this all went down. So yeah, I'm gonna be excited for the next ones that we do, because like I said at the beginning of this video, I have so many damn models. So what I would like from you, if you stuck around this whole time, 1, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. 2, we're gonna start kind of figuring out where we should go next. So I've got more Tyranids. I forget what this guy's called. We got more Tyranids to do. I could do Chthonian Berserkers. That's a choice. Or, these are the ones I'm giving you a choice on. 5 Chaos Terminators. There it is. So, those are the 3 most commented. I'll read the comments. I'll read the comments and try to figure out, you know, what models you guys want me to tackle next. I'll pretty much get all these by the time you're seeing this. I'll have them all glued up, prepped, ready to go. Maybe not primed, because I want to do something a little bit different with the primed job. And I think that's what we'll do. You guys get to vote on what we work on next. I have a couple lessons here before we go. 1, I figured out that to make things a little quicker, 1, we're gonna stick with only 5 models at a time. so I don't want to take these paintbrushes and gouge my eyes out, because you kind of get like lost in it after a while. 2, I'm not a fan of this brush on primer. I really watered this down. Like, I watered this down a lot. Was not, it clogged a lot of details, especially on the rippers. Wasn't 100% happy with them, like being the way they are. I guess these guys aren't officially done yet, but you guys don't need to see me put the rim on and all that. I just realized I need to put the rim on them. So I'll put a black rim on them, but they're done. They are done. So I think at the beginning of the next video, we'll take another, like we'll do a in the last episode kind of thing. Wait a second. Did you think we weren't going to look at the models now that I'm done with it? After all that? Crazy.